Welcome Chatfield softball Gopher fans to tonight's event, the Chatfield Lady Gophers versus the La Crescent Lancers. We are about 5 minutes out from game time. We're going to go ahead and do introductions brought to us by Allison Allen. So nice for her to step in and do that this year. Adds just a little element to our presentation, and then we're going to do the national anthem, and then we'll get started. I am E.B. Allen, so happy to be back bringing you the Gophers live tonight on our Chatfield YouTube channel. Grateful for Rick Irish, not only for setting up the camera, but for running it tonight. We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups quickly here as they're announcing them. Starting out for Chatfield, and this will be the batting order. McKenna Dornack will be playing third base. Grace Finley, first base. Lexi Hinckley catching. Braylee Horseman will be the designated player. Hitting for Kendall Knutson, who will be in center field. Britt Ruskell will be at second. Kieran Schmaltz in right field. Riley Urban will start in left. Katrin Johnson will be holding down the mound duty to start tonight at pitcher. And Bryn Horseman will be in the sixth shortstop position. Starting for the La Crescent Lancers, we have Kinley Groton. She'll play third base. Lexi Kiesau, same last name as the coach, who coaches the Lancers. She will be in left field. Lydia Kimball, she'll be at shortstop. Abby Ernster, we know that name from some other sports. They have some really talented players on here. She will be playing first base. Number 20, Addie Murmila, she will be pitching. Nadia Woodard, she'll be in center. Malia Moldenhoud, and again, I apologize if I'm saying these names incorrectly. I'm doing my very best. She will be the DP tonight. Kaylee Jansen, she will be at second base. Kayla Langen will be in right, and the flex player tonight will be Megan Hull. Chatfield comes in with a record of 1-1. They dropped their home opener versus Wabasha and bounced back very quickly last week against Plainview Elgin Millville to actually run rule them. La Crescent comes in with a record of 2-1. We will go ahead and pause here for the national anthem and rejoin you in just a moment. All right, softball fans. So as I mentioned, La Crescent comes in with a record of 2-1, and I have to note they had a very exciting, I don't think I've seen this since I've been around high school softball here at Chatfield, a very exciting game versus Cotter. They went 15 innings on Tuesday night down in La Crescent versus Cotter. La Crescent did ultimately end up dropping that contest 7-9, I believe was the final score, but they were in a barn burner this week, so probably looking to bounce back tonight as well. Chatfield's coached by first-year head coach Brent Berg, assisted by first-year assistant Belle Berg, no relation. One has an E, one does not on their last name. Katie Finley will be handling the book. Sydney Kreider is in the dugout helping as well. John Sutherland is our JV coach. He will be helping when JV is not playing, but they're usually playing at the same time, and I see their game has actually got underway as well. Rounding out the softball Chatfield program for the year, we have Angie Severson and Brett Sprout. They are holding down the 7th and 8th grade duties. They usually play down at Mill Creek when we're at home, so hopefully we'll get a score update report from them as well. I know they split in their home opener. 7th grade won, I believe, and 8th grade lost. I believe JV won their first contest at home as well. So we will see how tonight goes. It's a beautiful night, sunny, maybe a little bit breezy up here, but we are once again grateful for the CCTV booth. Also grateful for the Roland Well scoreboard. We will keep you can't actually see that on the screen right now, so we'll keep you updated with the score. But we are about to have our opening pitch thrown by Katrin Johnson, pitching to longtime Gopher senior Lexi Hinckley behind the plate. And up to bat, and that'll be a ball. Up to bat to start will be Kinley Groton, number 16. She plays third base for the Lancers. Sorry. Iowa girl still struggles with the names. This will be Katrin Johnson's first start for the year. Riley Urban actually started the first 2 games versus Plainview and Wabasha. Katrin did split duties with Riley in the Wabasha game, but this will be her first start. So there's a strike. We have a 3-1 count here on this first batter. And that one's just a little high, so they do draw a walk to start the inning. And that'll bring up number 2, Lexi Kiesau. She's the left fielder. Johnson's just a little high. Maybe needs to stand tall and just right at the hip, pull the string here. 1-0 is the count on number 2 batter, Lexi Kiesau. Runner stays at first base. And that'll be a strike, so 1-1 is the count. We're at the top of the first inning on our second home game of the 2024 season. And she hits that one for a base hit just past our shortstop, so the runner will advance to second. So we will start with runners at first and second and no outs. Looked like Horseman was actually retreating to second base for the steal when it was hit just past her. So that will bring up number 26, Lydia Kimball. She is their shortstop. Runners on first and second, no outs on the top of the first. And he says that one's a little high. Looks like we have the same umpires we had night 1. And there's a strike right down the middle. Katrin has a 1-1 count on Kimball. First batter drew a walk. Second batter base hit out here to left field. Third batter sends that one deep and out of play, out the left field foul line. Foul's a strike. So Katrin up on this batter here with a 1-2 count. And she tries to change up. That one's a little high, and they try to steal third, and they do make it. I think Hinckley was just a little blocked by the pitcher. Didn't see it until she got a little past shortstop, and that was a little late. So now we will have runners on second and third with no outs. 2-2 is the count on the batter. And that one's high. So we load up the count here with a 3-2, looking for Katrin's best pitch here, hoping not to load up the bases. And there's a strike. And that'll be Katrin's first strikeout versus the Lancers for tonight. That one was right down the middle. And that'll give the Gophers 1 out with Abby Ernster, their number 4 hitter. She plays first base, up to bat. One 0 the count on this batter. That one's in for a strike. That one's high. Lexi does a nice job of firing down to first. They get her in a rundown. and they get her out on the hot box pickle play. I think they thought they were going to draw the throw to third and steal home, but the girls have worked on that extensively, and Dornack and Hinckley managed to make that out. So we will take that. That will give us 2 outs, take the runner off of third base. So with 2 outs, we have a runner on second. Ernster still up. 2-1 is the count. So that was an interesting, gutsy, aggressive base running play. They've stole third and tried to steal home. So something a catcher and pitcher and third base need to be aware of. Lexi did a nice job reacting to that one. That one's just a little high. Johnson trying to mix it up. She does end up drawing a walk, so that will put runners on first and second with 2 outs and bring up the 5th batter, the pitcher, Addie Mermla. That one's just a little low, just a little below the knees. 2 outs, 1, 2, or 3 are hot. And there's a strike. 1-1 is the count on Woodard. All right, I'm sorry, Mermla. That one's high, and she goes to third to steal. So definitely challenging our catcher. Throws a little high and a little late, so they advance to second and third, and I would expect them to continue doing that until we really shut them down. So aggressive base running for the Lancers to start. And there's a strike on the batter, so now I would say if I was in the dugout, just work on the batter here. Let's get this last out. Don't need to check the runner, go directly to first. A 2-2 count on Mermla. Change up. She goes for it. Hinckley holds on to it. Great change up. That'll be the 3rd out for the inning. So no runs on 1 hit. We had 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 runners left on base. And after 1/2 inning, the Gophers 0-0 score, looking to draw first blood here in the bottom of first. All right, due up for the Gophers will be Dornack, Finley, and Hinckley. Only 2 games in, but you wish you could maintain these stats throughout the year. I took a quick peek. Dornack's hitting 571. Hinckley, they're twins right now. Both hitting 571, both with a 714 slugging percentage, both with 1 double on the year. So you have your top 2 hitters hitting 571. You have Schmaltz at 500. Bryn Horseman at 500, Braley Horseman at 500, Carver at 500, and Ruskell. I actually lost Ruskells, but she is the next in line there. So some pretty awesome numbers to start, hoping we can maintain that. Can't beat a 500 average, but good start for the Gophers. So Addie Mermla will be the pitcher, holding down the mound for the Lancers tonight. Catching will all right, Dornack steps in the box. That one's a bit high, gets away from their catcher. Looks like they're flex players, their catcher. And that'll be a strike. Swings and fouls straight back. Nice to see. This is good for our Gophers. The pitcher has a little zip on her ball. A little bit easier to hit than some of those slower. The timing is difficult. This is kind of the speed we practice. So Dornack with a 1-1 count on her. Bottom of 1. Leadoff batter. She lets that one go. 2-1 is the count. Dornack, one of the many lefties on the team this year, lefty batters on the team. You've got Dornack, you've got Finley, you've got Carver. Is there a fourth one, Rick? Left-hander? We have Schmaltz. We have 4 left-handed batters this year out of our 11 players. Dornack swings, fouls that one back behind the backstop. 3-2 will be the count on this leadoff batter. McKenna Dornack, just a freshman, started last year on varsity as an 8th grader, played some first and some second. And that one's just outside. She lets that one go, so she'll draw a walk to start the inning. That will bring up Grace Finley. Finley, also a varsity player at first base last year. Another left-hander. She squares to bunt, pulls back. Wisely so, that's called a ball. Marilla winds up, and there's a bunt, and it lands just in front of the plate. They pick it up, and they gun her down, but she did her job. Sack bunt for Finley. Sends McKenna Dornack to second, puts her in scoring position for senior Lexi Hinckley. Lexi, a 4-year Gopher starter, part of that state championship team 2 years ago. Has developed into quite a power hitter. Like to see her get a hold of one here to start the inning. And that one's low. Dornack takes a hefty lead at second. And that one's low as well. Hinckley with some good discipline in the box. 2-0 the count. And she sends that one deep to left field. They do make the catch. Unable to tag up, just too close to the base. So she does fly out for the second out. That will bring up senior designated player, Braylee Horseman. She'll be hitting for Kendall Knutson in the flex spot as center field. And Marilla starts with a strike. Braylee hitting about 500 through the first 2 games. And that one's a bit inside. 1-1 on Horseman. They set outside. And Horseman line drives just right at the left fielder. Got a hold of that one very well. Does line out to end the inning. So we have no runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base, and we remain scoreless through the first inning. It's a game of inches. You send that one a few inches left or right, and that's a double at minimum in our runner scores, but that's how it goes. Nice to see the Gophers getting their bat on the ball to start the game. So far, so good. Our concession stand is open. Just a reminder, we built a brand new concession pavilion 2 years ago now. Rick, has it been 2 years? The year of the state championship. So yeah, we're in our 3rd year of using it. They have all kinds of goodies in there, especially if you're coming straight from work, pizza and nachos and popcorn. So stop in. All the proceeds go to help our youth sports program. It's run by our youth sports parents. Always appreciate their efforts. Thank you to Carmen Berg for all the scheduling that's required to staff that concession stand, but it's been awesome to have that. It also has a covered overhang, so for the sun or the rain, Gives people a chance to get out of the elements. All right, so we are at the top of the second. Stepping into the box will be Nadia Woodard. She is their center fielder. Johnson starts with a strike in the inning. And there's two, just like that. Up 0-2 on the batter. Would like to see a not great pitch thrown to Woodard here. See if we can get her to bite on something. And definitely did the job there. Maybe a little too high for her to bait, but good to mix it up. 1-2 is the count. Top of 2 to Woodard. And strike 3. That will be Katrin Johnson's third strikeout in the game. Great start. So stepping into the box now, number 12, Malia Moldenhoud. She is their DP, batting for their catcher, I believe. Johnson starts that one with a ball. She's a lefty here. Oh, that one's in the dirt, but she does swing. We'll take that one. Helps our pitcher out. 1-1 the count, 1 out, top of 2. Another great strike. She kind of reaches for that one and fouls that one back to the fence. So Johnson's up on this batter, 1-2. Fouls it straight back again. Ooh, just missed that inside corner. That one looked pretty good from the booth, but obviously not as close as blue behind the plate, but good mix, Katrin. And strike 3. Hinckley does have it pop out of her glove, but she fires right down to first. So that will be the second out and the second strikeout of the inning. That will bring up second baseman Callie Jansen. Ball 1. There's a strike, swing and a miss. Johnson doing a nice job pushing off tonight. Good velocity, a little bit of spin. She fouls that one back. 1-2 is the count with 2 outs, top of 2. Johnson retired the first 2 batters of the inning. And there's strike 3, and that will be 3 strikeouts for 3 batters for Johnson, top of 2. We will remain scoreless according to the Roland Well scoreboard. And up for the Gophers will be Rusko, Schmaltz, and Urban. So Katrin Johnson through 2 innings has 5 strikeouts. Great job. Gophers have a busy 24 hours ahead. They have tonight's game, obviously, and then they head to Lake City tomorrow. They've done this tournament the past few years. Lake City, Kenyon, and Cannon Falls, I believe, are all at that tournament. So it's kind of a small tournament, but you always get 2 games in. So they play Cannon Falls the first round, and then they will play, if they win, they advance to play the winner. Hopefully they win. The winner of Kenyon and Lake City. So always a good chance to get a couple games in, get some swings in, make any adjustments. A lot of new players, a lot of new faces, a lot of girls that are new to varsity, period, not just new to softball varsity. So just really have a lot of versatility in this lineup. So we've seen actually a different lineup each game. And I think we'll continue to see that as we settle in. We just have 11 players on the bench, which is great. A lot of girls that have worked hard through the fall and the winter and the summer and are excited for their first varsity spring season. So Ruskell will start off with a ball. We're at the bottom of 2. Gophers had runners on base last inning, but could not capitalize. And that'll be 2-0 to Britt Ruskell. Britt, the only other player besides Hinckley that was part of the 2022 Gopher State Championship. She seemed so young back then, and now she's already a junior getting ready next year for her senior year. Things move quickly, for sure. So 3-0 on Ruskell. I'm going to assume, yep, she's going to take that. And that was not a swingable pitch anyway, so she'll draw a walk to start the inning. We'll take it. Great base runner to start on base. And that will bring up Kieran Schmaltz. As I mentioned, Kieran hitting .500. She's a slap hitter, but can also have a decent power swing. Ruskell on 1. No outs, top of 2. And I'm going to guess we're going to, nope. Textbook says you bunt here with your lefty, but Berg might be thinking something else. So Kieran Schmaltz does draw a strike on that first pitch. So 0-1 is the count to Schmaltz with no outs. And she swings and fouls it off of her foot. So she'll go down 0-2 in the count. Got to protect the plate here. Schmaltz, one of the seniors on the team this year, along with Horseman and Hinckley. And she half swings, not quite sure what was happening there, if she couldn't decide or was trying to slap it. So that'll be a strikeout, the first strikeout for Marilla. And that will bring up Riley Urban. Riley, the other pitcher on the team, she's playing left field to start this game. She swings and misses. She goes down 0-1 in the count. Ruskell remains on 1. She fouls that one high, up, and out of play. So Urban also down 0-2 in the count, needs to protect here. It's been a generous strike zone so far, so anything close is what I'd be yelling. They set up outside, and she fouls that one back behind the dugout, or the backstop out of play as well. I think we're out of balls here, and one went in the culvert. There we go. So 1 out, 0-2 on Urban. Ruskell drew a walk. Schmaltz struck out. Ruskell still at 1, looking to advance here. Ooh. Catcher did a nice job framing that one up. It was probably further inside than it looked when she flicked her wrist back, but that one was tight. Urban does a nice job laying off it. 1-2 is the count on Riley. And she lines that one. She lines that one just behind third base. The shortstop goes over and makes a great backhanded catch. She thinks she's going to catch Ruskell leading off. She throws it away, and Ruskell does advance to 2. So we'll take that. At least there's something there. Urban got a hold of that one. I think it hit the inside of the handle. You could kind of hear that. So just a little more oomph, and that one would have got to the green. But that'll be 2 outs, and that will bring up pitcher Katrin Johnson with our runner on second. She swings and flies out, and first base makes a diving catch for out number 3. So through 2 complete innings, the score remains 0-0. Gophers had no hits, 1 walk, 1 runner left on base, no runs. And we will, just like that, go to top of 3. So far been a bit of a pitching duel. We'll take a quick break and be right back. All right, so we started the game at 5. It's 5:25. We're already in top of 3. We play 7, almost halfway through. Not a lot of hits. I hear Brent Berg say 9-1-2. So we are at their 9th batter, Kayla Longen. She's the right fielder. She'll start off the inning for the Lancers. And between the two teams, we've had 1 hit so far. We've had 6 strikeouts and 4 walks. And that one will be foul. Johnson has 2 strikes on Langen. And she swings hard, lines it right to the top of our very nice new concession stand, so that's going to be a dent. Hopefully the sun pops it back out at some point with that nice tin roof. 0-2 the count on Langen. Change up. Oh, nice pitch. Might have come in just a little bit high, but great change up. Johnson's doing a nice job mixing that in here tonight. 1-2 the count. Top of 3, 0-0. Same thing, I think just missed because it maybe came in a bit high and dropped. So 2-2 is now the count. That one's outside, so we load it up. Ball 4. So we will start the inning walking the 9th batter, taking us back to the top of the order. Runner on 1. And I would look for them to challenge our catcher. They've been stealing this whole time. So Gratton's up to bat. She's 0 for 1. Or I'm sorry, 0 for 0. She walked the first time around. She'll foul that one out of play. That one's in the dirt. It gets away from Hinckley, so she'll take second. That'll give 1-1 the count on Gratton. No outs, runner on 2. Try to check her if you can. Get an out here. Ooh, that one was a little inside. Lexi does a nice job pulling that one back. Great framing, Lex. We'll take it. So we'll go 1-2 on this batter. Strike 3? No. So we'll go 2-2 on that batter. That one's high and outside, so we'll load up the count on this one as well. Johnson doing a nice job mixing. Just got to give her something hittable. We don't want another walk here. And that one's just a little low, so we will. So we'll have 2 walks to start the inning, with runners on 1 and 2 and no outs, and that will bring up their second hitter, Lexi Kiesau. She has the lone hit so far in tonight's game. I would look for a double steal as they did the last inning. And that one gets away from Hinckley. She throws it back to Johnson. She catches her leading a little far off first base. She whips it there, and Brent says, let's not do that. She has nowhere else to go. So 1-0 on this batter here, and that one's high and outside. 2-0. We've let off the inning with 2 walks, so looking to give her something to hit within the zone. And that's a 3-0 count. Johnson needing to come all the way back here. There it is. She throws in a strike to give her the 3-1. No outs. And that's ball 4, and that will load up the bases. That is 3 walks in a row. Let's see what Coach Berg does here. He's going to let her go a little more. That'll bring up Kimball. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Oh, we are going to call a timeout here. Assistant Coach Bellberg out to talk to her. And probably more importantly to talk to the fielders. What are we going to do? Bases loaded, no outs. Pull them in a little. If it's hit hard, maybe throw home, but you got to get an out here. You don't want a scenario where they score and you remain outless. So let's see what we do here. I see on Game Changer it's Knutz and Kimball, so I was just given something that says Kimball, so I will add that too. So Knutz and Kimball, the shortstop. She did strike out last time. She's up to bat. That one's just a little high. Ball 1. Johnson just needs to settle in here. She has 5 strikeouts, or actually 6, I believe. Nope, 5 on the night. Just needs to continue to find that groove, find that zone. She goes 2-0 on the batter. And that's a strike, and that'll be fouled back out of play. 2-1 on Kimball. She got her swinging last time. Let's see what we can do. Nice pitch. I think that was a changeup for the 2-2 count. Johnson needing to battle it out here. There it is. And she'll strike her out. Great composure by Katrin Johnson. Kimball draws her 2nd strikeout of the night, and that will take us to Ernster. Gophers now have 1 out in the top of 3. The bases remain loaded. Ernster walked last time around. And Johnson's found her groove now. Great hard strike to start on the batter. I like the mix. Great changeup. Hinckley does a nice job blocking that one. Johnson's changeups naturally drop, which is a great thing to have. A little tricky for a catcher, but she did a good job handling that. And she fouls that one off her foot, so we'll take it as another strike. 1-2 the count on Ernster. Ernster, their first baseman. Low and inside. Hinckley saves that one. Ooh, that was a nice outside corner, maybe just a little too far outside. I like the mix. And now, as I would yell from the dugout, best pitch here. It's got to be your best pitch. Don't want to walk her. Even if she's got something to hit, rely on your defense here. Yes, and he calls a strike. You can't lay off that one when it's that close. So that's another strikeout. So great job by Katrin Johnson after loading up the bases on walks to come up with 2 key strikeouts. And that will bring up the pitcher, Addie Marilla. She is 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well. That one's a little high and outside. Hinckley watches the runner after what we saw that first inning where they took a generous lead off of third, and when we threw it, tried to steal home. It's good. Hinckley needs to look her back every time. Good job, Lex. Ooh. Hinckley fires down to try to pick her off. Dornack mishandles it, but Horseman is there to back her up, picks it up, and gets it there. Maybe he'll make her think a little bit more, but I think, as I would say, she's really not going anywhere, right, as long as you're standing there with the ball, so just walk her back. Marilla is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 2-0 is the count. And there's a grounder there. Horseman handles it and fires from the shortstop position to get that third out. Gophers handle a tight scenario there. Walk the first 3 batters with bases loaded. As a coach on the other side, you got to say, gosh, we had bases loaded and we couldn't get a sac fly, a bunt, a grounder to go. But great job by the Gophers holding them scoreless with bases loaded and no outs. So that will be no runs on no hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base for the top half of the 3rd inning. We will go to bottom of the 3rd according to our awesome Rollin' Well scoreboard. Gophers have yet to get a hit. Due up is Bryn Horseman and then the top. Horseman hitting .500, so we got a 50-50 shot she's going to get a hit here. There's only been 1 hit through 2.5 innings of play. That came in the very first inning with the second batter with Kiesau. And then it's been a lot of strikeouts and a lot of walks. Johnson with 7 strikeouts so far on the evening. 5 walks and no hits. And Marilla just with 1 strikeout, 2 walks, and again, no hits. So not a lot of action out on the base path as far as hitting goes. We'll see what the bottom of this 3rd brings. We're going to have Horseman in the top, and that means they've all seen this pitcher at least once. So let's start off with a hit here, Bryn. Use that momentum from that great play at shortstop. And that'll be a called strike. It's a beautiful sunny evening, but just a bit breezy up in the booth. And Horseman swings and flies out to first base. Our swings look a little long. Need to compact them and keep our arms tight to our body here. So that'll give the Gophers 1 out. Bring us back to the top of the order with Dornack. Dornack walked her first time at bat. She swings and fouls that one back. Dornack leading the team in RBIs with 5 thus far this season. Hinckley second with 3. That's what you're... And she swings hard, and it's a high fly ball. And the second baseman allows the center fielder to come all the way in to the edge of the grass to catch that one for the Gophers' second out. She needed to get on her horse for that one. She was playing a bit deep on Dornack, as they should. And that could have easily been a blooper in, but number 25, Nadia Woodard, did a great job making a catch there. So with 2 outs, that'll bring Grace Finley up to bat. She had a sac bunt the first time at bat. So she is 0 for 0 right now. She swings and fouls that one back. And that one gets away from the catcher. 1-2 will be the count on Finley. Here in the bottom of the 3rd. Was 2 up, 2 down so far for the Gophers. 2 flyouts to start the inning. And Finley hits that one hard, And again, we're giving their left fielder a lot of action. She does make that catch, so it'll be 3 up, 3 down for the Gophers. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base, and through 3 complete innings, the score remains 0-0. So as I mentioned, Gophers are 1-1 right now. They did drop their home opener. Just a little bit of struggle, a little bit of nerves to Wabasha, who has been beating a lot of great teams, and then came back and run-ruled Plainview at the beginning of this week. So that was nice to see. La Crescent is 2-1. I think I mentioned on Tuesday night they had a 15-inning barn burner with Cotter, who is another great club, and then they ended up dropping in the 15th inning. But they've also beat Rushford Peterson and Fillmore Central this year. And Woodard, the center fielder that made that great short catch, is in the box with a 1-1 count at the top of the 4th inning. Ooh, Johnson just misses the strike on that one. Woodard struck out, so she is 0 for 1 the last time at bat. And that one's just a bit high. Johnson struggled a little bit at the beginning of last inning, walking the first 3 batters. We're 3-1 here, and she comes back with a strike there. Good job, Katrin. So 3-2 is the count. Looking for a strike here. He says it was just a little high. So we will start the inning off with a walk for Woodard. And that will bring up Malia Boldenhod. She is 0 for 1 with a strikeout as well. And it looks like Berg says we're going to go ahead and make a switch. And we're going to rotate our pitchers. Johnson will go to left, and Riley Urban will warm up. We've actually seen this strategy in our first game as well. Berg does a nice job splitting the pitching duties. You see that a lot of times in college, even in high school sometimes. It throws off the batters with the different speed. You might even see him bring Johnson back in, and as long as you keep Johnson in the game, it doesn't count as a substitution. So if you find a position, you can flip them back and forth, basically the way you want. So probably a good time here now maybe to make that switch and then maybe switch it back even. Urban maybe has just a bit more speed than Johnson has. I don't know about the same amount of spin. So they both have great pitching qualities, and hopefully maybe it'll throw their batters off just a little bit. But Lancers do start the inning with a walk, so they do have a runner on first base as Moldenhauer. Okay, I could not read the card, so I'm glad we have game changer. Moldenhauer. Malia Moldenhauer steps in. She's 0 for 1. One of their left-handed batters. Runner on 1. Need to have a heads up for a steal. Even a bunt. There's no outs here. And there it is. They squared a bunt to fake. Hinckley throws it back to the pitcher instead of to second. I'm not sure if she didn't see her go. So that'll be a stolen base for number 25, Nadia Woodard. So they will have a runner in scoring position with no outs, and now they bunt. Nice bunt right in front of the plate. Hinckley fields it, Fires it down to 1, gets the runner, but they do advance to third. Oh, foul ball. Great. That's great. That was a very nice bunt by that lefty. It hung in the air for just a minute and then just died. Must have not made it out in front of the plate. So we will take that, and that'll give us 2 strikes on this batter. Runner will remain at second base. Moldenhauer steps in. And that's a strikeout for Katrin Johnson. Or Riley. Oh, thank goodness Ricky's out here. So that will be Riley's first. Need to switch over that'll be Riley's first strikeout of the evening. And that'll give the Gophers 1 out with a runner on second. Callie Jansen, their second baseman, will step in. She struck out last time at bat. She squares to bunt. The ball gets by Hinckley, and they were stealing anyway. So that'll put a runner on third base with 1 out, and Jansen up with a 2-0 count. So I need to check the runner if we can. She squares to bunt. Maybe thinking a little suicide action. She does foul that one off. 2-1 will be the count on Jansen. We're in the top of the 4th. We remain scoreless. There has been 1 hit thus far in the entire game. She squares to bunt again. She lays that one flat. They check the runner. She dives back. The runner's safe at 1. So Berg is explaining we either want an out or a play. So those are tough. The bunting from third base is tough. Continue to work on that. So they'll have runners at 1 and 3. They square to bunt again. We fire down to third. I like it. We keep the runner at third. That's fine. Good play. So runners at 2 and 3 with 1 out. Kayla Langen is up to bat. She walked last time around. Going to need to check the runner to avoid a run here. She squares to bunt again. There's a nice strike. She pulls back. So called strike. 0-2 the count on Langen. Their 9th batter. A strikeout here would be very nice for the Gophers. She does ground it. Oh, and Dornak. So it hops up Dornak's glove, so that'll be error on third base. Ruskell ends up backing it up and grabbing her. The runner rounds first, tries to get to second, so Ruskell runs up and tags her. So that will be an unearned run. So the Lancers did score 1 run, but we'll also get that second out. So need to get this third out here. That'll bring us top of the order, Kinley Groton. She's had 2 walks on the night. So the Lancers will take a 1-0 lead. We finally see a score here. Nice curveball by Urban. 1-1 is the count. Groton plays third base. Has had 2 walks so far. She hits a high fly ball to center field. And Knutson handles that one for the third out. So the Lancers do score 1 run on no hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. So we are through 4.5 innings. The Gophers trail the Lancers 0-1. We'll take a quick break and be right back. All right, so we're back, bottom of 4. The Gophers did drop a run there in the top of the 4th inning, and so Lexi Hinckley says, let's get this started here, and starts off with a base hit up the middle. Great job, Lex. That's what leaders do. Yeah. And we will have Olivia Carver in to run for Lex Hinckley. She starts the inning off with a hit, and that is the Gophers' first hit. And that will bring up cleanup hitter, senior Braylee Horseman, the DP. Braylee had a nice line drive. It just went right to the left fielder last at bat, so it makes sense to me why we're not bunting right here. Hate to take the bat out of the hands of somebody who was keyed up pretty well. And she fouls that one back. 1-1 will be the count on Horseman. Another girl that's played a lot of ball in the summer and in the fall, lifts a lot of weights and is very much a power hitter. Can really get a hold of that ball and hit it hard. Clean up position, a good spot for her. So 1-1 the count on Bray. She swings, and there it is. And this time it gets past the left fielder. Carver's on her horse, and she's going to score, and Horseman's going to get to second, and they're going to send her to third. She's going to need to dive, and she makes it all the way to third base. Way to do your job, Bray. Great job. I call that one a hit. The left fielder dove, and it's hit before her glove, so I think she did her best effort. But that's a triple for Braylee Horseman to tie the game up just like that. Awesome job, Braylee. And that will mean that with no outs, the Gophers have a runner on third base with Britton Ruskell up to bat. Britton walked last time. Nothing like a couple hits to make the game exciting. It's getting kind of bored not seeing any balls come out here. So great job by the two seniors back-to-back, Hinckley and Horseman, making something happen to tie up the game. And the Gophers bring Ruskell up. Second baseman, Britt Ruskell, walked last time at bat. She swings and hits one hard and in the gap, and that'll be a gapper, and that'll score Horseman, and that'll take Ruskell to second base for a double, and the Gophers' bats woke up just like that. 3 hits, 2 scores. Gophers will take the 2-1 lead with no outs still in the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring up lefty Kieran Schmaltz. She struck out last time at bat. She's the other senior playing right fielder. Pulling her head a little, swing and a miss. That happened that last inning as well. Got to keep that head down low in the zone, see it hit. Ruskell's at 2. She's quick. If you can get it out in the field, there's a chance she could score. That one's high. Schmaltz let that one go. 1-1 is the count. And Schmaltz will send that one high and out of play, or just almost out of play, to the fence on the right foul line. So she'll go down in the count. 1-2 is the count. Needs to make some contact here. A little bit of contact and draw the throw to first will at least take the runner to 3. That one's low and outside. We're in bottom of 4. Gophers just took the 2-1 lead with 3 hits with 3 batters. Schmaltz up to bat here, and she fouls that one back behind the backstop. Schmaltz with 2 strikes on her, needs to protect her plate. Change up high. She does a nice job laying off that one. You want to protect but not be anxious. That's a perfect example. So that'll load the count up. 3-2, runner on 2, bottom of 4, no outs. Swing and a miss, and that'll be her second strikeout. So Gophers with 1 out will bring up Riley Urban. Riley flew out last time at bat. Be nice if Gophers could push this second run across here. And Riley with a grounder to first base. Lancers do a nice job picking that one up, touching first, and being aggressive, throwing it to third. Make sure our runner doesn't lead off too far to try to pick her off. Ruskell does a nice job hustling back. So that'll give the Gophers 2 outs with a runner on third. And Katrin Johnson will be up to bat. Katrin 0 for 1. She flew out to first base last time. And she swings and fouls that one back. Gophers looking to push that other run, that Ruskell run. She's at third base across the home plate to give them a little bit of a cushion. That one's in the dirt. Catcher does a nice job. 1-1 the count on Johnson. Johnson started the game pitching, playing left field now. She swings, and oh, those are the worst. Fouls it on her own ankle. Will sting for a minute. So 2 outs, 1-2 the count to Johnson. And it's a slow grounder, and that'll go foul towards the third baseline. She stays alive here. That one's high. Marilla, 53 pitches in for the Lancers. She throws a changeup, and that one's high as well, so that'll load up the count on Johnson with 2 outs and the runner at 3. Pitcher versus pitcher. Let's see what we can do here. And that's ball 4 to Johnson, so she'll take her base, put runners on the corners, and bring us back to the bring us to Bryn Horseman, the shortstop, our number 9 batter. Or as I like to call it, the second leadoff. She swings and fouls that one back. 2 outs, runners at 1 and 3. Come on, Bryn. Inside, does a nice job laying off that. Looks like our runner's going to stay at 1, taking no chances. We want to see what Horseman can do here. Lancers have shown they don't mind throwing it around pretty quick, so probably a smart play by Berg. Oh, and Horseman hits that one hard. The fielder makes a diving catch, or a diving play, does not catch it. Johnson works hard to get around the bases, and 2 runs will score on that. See if we called it a hit. It was a diving catch. I would call it a hit. It was a line drive they couldn't get to. She made it. She laid out, but she was unable to get it. So Lancers will call a timeout here. I just want to see what game changer scored that, but I would score that. A 2 RBI single. So that will put the Gophers up 4-1. That's a nice bottom of 4 inning. We had not seen many hits going on, and Yes, they gave her a hit as well. Okay, and that'll bring us back to the top of the order. McKenna Dornack, she is 0 for 1. She walked, and then she flew out. Center fielder made a nice catch last time around. She'll follow that one out of play. Gophers with a nice little 2-out rally they got going here. We have a runner on 1. 2 outs. They've scored all four of their runs in the bottom of the 4th inning here. Dornack lays off the outside pitch. One, 2 the count on Dornack. She hits that one up the middle. There we go. And it gets past their center fielder, so the runner will advance to third. Dornack will advance to second, and they hold up where they are. So that is a base hit with an error. The ball gets away from the pitcher, goes to the backstop, but the catcher does a nice job tracking that one down. Everybody hits. Looks good. So that'll take our runners to second and third. We still have the 2 outs. We have Finley up to bat. Finley is 0 for 1. She had a sac, bunt, and then a ground out. Finley, another power hitter. She gets a hold of one. She's seen this pitcher a couple times. Let's see what she can do. Keep her head in there. She swings and misses. Little high for my taste. And she fouls that one out of play. Gophers hoping to continue this rally. 2-1 the count on Finley. Couple of RBIs just waiting for her out there. And that one's low and outside. She'll let that one go. Nice job, Grace. She swings and misses, and that will be strike 3. And that will retire the Gophers, but not before they did some significant damage. They had 4 runs on 5 hits. There was 1 Lancer error, and there were 2 runners left on base. So we will head into top of the 5. Gophers, the 4-1 lead. As always, 7-inning game. We're in top of the 5. First 3 were, I don't want to say boring, but not as exciting as the 4th inning. We saw Lancer score a run, and then we saw the Gophers answer with 4, which you always love to see as a coach. All right, so we'll lead off the inning with Ki Sao. She has the Lancers' only hit thus far. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, Jansen has a hit as well. They have 2 now. All right, 2, 3, 4 will be where we're at in the Lancer order. It's hit to Dornack. She's unable to handle it. It gets past her glove, tips off. Horseman does a nice job backing her up, so that'll be a runner for the Lancers with no outs on an error. And that will bring up shortstop, Lydia Knutson-Kimball. And she fouls that one out of play. Urban quickly goes up 0-2 in the count. We're at the top of the 5th inning. Change up. That one's straight up in the air. Who's going to get it? Urban drops it. So Hinckley does a nice job recovering. She picks it up. The runner thought that was kind of a can of corn there, so she did not lead very far off first base for fear of being doubled off. And Hinckley does a nice job firing down to second. We had good coverage, so we were able to get the lead runner there despite that drop. I cannot say enough how difficult the super high fly balls right in front of the home plate are. You have to handle them, but the spin on them are insane. So it's very easy, especially as a young player, it looks like it's just a high fly ball, but the spin is not like the same spin that you would get like in an outfield. So just continue to use 2 hands and squeeze if you can, but it worked out because we got the lead runner. That one's in the dirt. Hinckley fires down. Horseman's there, not quite in time. Lancers continue to be aggressive on the bases. So Ernster is up to bat. Kimball reached on basically what would be a fielder's choice. So with 1 out, the Lancers do have a runner on second with Ernster up to bat. She walked and struck out so far. She is 0 for 1. And McKenna Dornat gets some more action over there, but that time it goes foul. She does a nice job diving, trying to stop that hard grounder, but I would definitely hug the line here on this hitter. Horseman, a newer shortstop, doing a nice job adjusting to each batter. I'm sure she's had some shortstop coaching, but she does a nice job adjusting. So I see her moving over, seeing where the runner or where the batter pulled the ball, so she's not just standing in one place. That's what you like to see from a seasoned fielder, that they're moving and paying attention to each pitch and each swing. So she's starting to settle into that role. Looks good. Ooh, and that was almost a strike, maybe just a tad high. So 3-2 count on Ernster. And she lines that one. And Ruskell takes a nice little vertical hop, grabs it up over her head for the second out. Way to be ready. Britt's also really settled into that role at second base. She's quick and vertical and horizontal, and she just does a nice job. So we will take that. So that'll retire Ernster to give us 2 outs with a runner on second. And that will bring up the pitcher, Addie Murmala, unless they might be. Actually, it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here. I believe number 8, Ellie Forcht, is pinch hitting for the pitcher, Addie Murmala. 2 outs, runner at 2. Ooh, Urban just missed the strike on that one. Yes, Ellie Forge, number 8. She is in to pinch hit for Addie Murmala. And she swings, and that's a high fly ball. Hinckley's over to get it. And she runs into Dornack, and they drop it. So Gophers continue to just struggle a little bit with running into each other on fly balls, so I think it's just something they have to continue to call each other off and communicate. It looks like Dornack might have actually got hit in the face as they ran into each other. So I think we'll have an injury timeout here. We'll take a quick break. Yep. All right, so it looks like all is well here with Dornack. I think she maybe just got knocked in the head a little bit as she and Hinckley collided. So Gophers just need to continue. They've had a few like that this year. I think everyone's anxious to catch the ball, but somebody has to back off at some point so we don't have those collisions. So the batter will get another try. Urban fires in with a strike. This is Ellie Ford. She's the pitch hitter for the pitcher. 1-2 is the count on Forge. And she has a nice line drive. Schmaltz Schmaltz dives, doesn't catch it, but stops the play and flips it to the second baseman kind of behind her. So she does a nice job so that Rusko can look. But a run does score on that. So that will bring the Lancers within 2 to a 4-2. So pinch hitter definitely did her job there. Always like to see that. And now the coach is at home plate. The Lancer coach is at home plate talking to the ump. I'm not sure what question he might have. Maybe just reporting something, I think. I don't think he pinched hit here. So you have Nadia Woodward. So far, she's had a walk and a strikeout. So we're in top of 5. The Lancers did gain 1 run back, so the score is 4-2 right now. There are 2 outs. Gophers looking for this third one here. Urban doing a nice job holding down the mound. Woodard will foul that one back. 0-2 is the count. Nothing too good here. And she hits it right back to Urban. She handles it, and that'll be the third out to retire the Lancers. They ended up with 1 hit, 1 run, 1 runner left on base. So we will go into bottom of 5 with Gophers leading 4-2. These are pretty evenly matched teams. Good pitchers, good hitters. Gophers had that one inning where they kind of exploded and out-hit the Lancers, but they are definitely a strong team. The Gophers actually lost to the Lancers last year. They've definitely built up their program. They work hard in the summer, and they are a contender all day. Obviously, Cotter is picked to be one of the prime teams in our section and perhaps in our state with a very experienced pitcher, so to take them to 15 innings this week. This conference is going to be very interesting this year. Usually you can kind of bet on St. Charles, Cotter, and Chatfield maybe being in the upper, but Del Riota beat St. Charles the other day. Wabasha beat Chatfield. La Crescent almost beat Cotter. Caledonia run-ruled somebody. So I think you've got a lot of factors in here for this conference. And then you look at the section and you add in Randolph, who is a new addition. They've been 1A for years, and they were added to 2A, and they were added to our section. They typically go every year to state in 1A, sometimes win it, always place in the upper part of the tournament. So I think it's kind of anybody's game this year. It's going to be a really interesting season to see how things progress and move. A lot of people have graduated, a lot of new athletes coming in, a lot of programs building, a lot of them really taking an interest in summer ball and fall ball and doing a lot of extra work to improve their athletes. I think what we recognized years ago when we started our youth program is the spring season is just so dang short. You get a little weather, and I mean, you're practicing for a while, you're playing for 4 weeks. You have to play in the summer at minimum, fall and dome if you're not too busy, and if you can fit it in, because in order to improve and to create the muscle memory for some of these skills, there's just not a lot of time during the actual season. And I think that's where the Gophers, why they are where they're at. St. Charles, same thing. Cotter, same thing. We're seeing some of these other teams, and Hinckley takes that one all the way back, foul. So that's what we're kind of seeing as a fruit of those efforts, and a lot of these teams really upping their game. So fun to see. A lot of good softball in Southeast Minnesota. We will have Hinckley. She started that rally last inning. She's up to bat here. She hit a couple really hard and then ended up swinging and missing for a strikeout, which is very unusual for Lex. And Horseman will be up next. She had that big hit for the Gophers as well. Gave the Gophers that RBI to really start the rally. So would like to see us stay intense, continue to draw out some hits here. Great swing. She fouls that one out of play. Braley swinging a good bat right now. So we are in bottom of 5. Gophers lead 4-2. Hinckley was the first out, so we have 1 out. Our cleanup hitter, Braley Horseman, the DP, she is up to bat. And she hits that one kind of in the hole for the shortstop, and they have a very talented shortstop in number 26, Lydia Knutson-Kimball. She handles that one easily. She has a great arm. So that'll retire our second Gopher. So with 2 outs, Britt Ruska will step up. She had a hit last time as well to continue that rally. So she is 1 for 1. Britt's walked so far tonight, and then I had a hit, as well as an RBI. That's a changeup outside. Ruskell lays off that. 1-2 the count, 2 outs, bottom of 5. She thinks about that one a little high. She did a nice job laying off it. Catcher overthrows the pitcher here. Three-two count on Ruskell. She hits one hard, and that one's again in the gap. Shortstop tries to backhandle it and does mishandle it, so Ruskell will reach on an error. That gives us a runner, and last time we rallied with 2, so let's see what we can do here. That'll bring Schmaltz up. Schmaltz with a couple of strikeouts. 0 for 2. Ruskell will be at 1 here with 2 outs, bottom of 5. There's a called strike on Schmaltz. She fouls that one behind her. Looks like Ruskell was taken off. Oh, they called that one a hit for Ruskell. I'll go ahead with that. It was kind of a tough play. And a swing and a miss. So that will be Schmaltz's third strikeout of the game. And that was actually strike 3. So they throw down for our steal, but it's not needed because that will retire the Gophers. We will head into the top of the 6th. We had no runs, and they actually called Britt Ruskell's a hit, which it was kind of in the hole between third and short, so we'll call it that. No errors. We had 1 runner left on base. Urban will continue to hold down the mound, it looks like. Brentberg says we're up by 2. We need 6 more outs to win this game. So great way to think of it. 1 at a time here. Top of 6, the Lancers did grab another run in the 5th inning. And there's a deep fly ball to center field. Knutson drop steps and handles it to retire Malia Moldenhauer. That'll bring up Callie Jansen. Jansen 1 for 2. Urban starts strong with the strike. And she kind of golfs that one out, fouls it back. We'll take it. Strike 2. The Roland Wells scoreboard that we're so grateful for says the Gophers lead 4-2 in the top of the 6th. 1 out. And that one is fouled. And Finley does a nice job getting almost to the dugout to grab that one. Great second out. And that will bring up batter number 9, Kayla Langen. She's 0 for 1 with a walk. Swing and a miss. Great pitch by Riley Urban. She's doing a nice job settling in. Just a freshman. This is her first year on varsity. She works very hard on the pitching throughout the year, and that's showing there. There's one to Britt Ruskell at second base. She easily handles that one for the 4-3 put out to retire the Lancers. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We will head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Gophers up 4-2. And I don't know about you, Rick, but it's about this time of night when the sun starts to, yes, exactly. The sun starts to leave us, and most of the outfield is shade, and it gets a little chilly. A big thank you to Rick, and did Tim help you with the yeah, they covered the back of the CCTV booth with some tarp, and I'm very grateful for that because it's a bit chilly, but it could be quite bitter in here if we wouldn't have that. So we have a very nice CCTV booth that we're bringing the game to you on YouTube from. And then it will be on channel 11 as well, right? Nope, no channel 11. Will there be any playback or? Okay, so eventually we'll bring you this live on YouTube, and then there'll be playback on CCTV. Thanks to Andy O and Damon Luck and all the crew for working hard to make this possible. We always appreciate being able to bring the game to people if they can't make it because they're far away or you know, their health or whatever else. We appreciate you joining us. We enjoy bringing you these nice night games, especially when the Gophers are up 4-2 against the Lancers, a quality team that has a 2-1 record. We're going to start this inning with Riley Urban up to bat. Urban is 0 for 2 on the night, looking for her first hit. Done a nice job. She started in left field, came in, done a nice job holding down the mound duties. First one's a called strike, second one's a ball. And she swings, and that one's high to the third base line for a foul catch for out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th. That will bring up Katrin Johnson. She is 0 for 2, I believe, with a walk. And she pops out to the shortstop on the first pitch. Oh, I'm sorry, she's 0 for 1, so 0 for 2 now. And just like that, 1-2, the Gophers have 2 outs. With Bryn Horseman up to bat. Bryn is 1 for 3 with an RBI. She was part of that rally in the 4th inning. And there's a called drop ball, I guess I would call it. They set up outside in the dirt. Horseman leaves that one low. 2-1 is the count. Inside pitch. Three 1 to Horseman. Hitter's pitch here. It's got to be good. They set up outside again. She swings and fouls that one back. It actually hits the catcher's mask and I believe the umpire's mask as well. So that'll load up the count on Bryn Horseman. She had a couple nice plays at shortstop tonight. Done a good job covering, knowing where to go. She's new to that position this year on varsity. Done a great job so far. And she fouls that one back as well. Staying alive here. Gophers will be back in action at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, where they will play Cannon Falls, kind of a rematch of 2 years ago state tournament section final playoff. And that is a called ball 4, so Horseman will take her base with 2 outs. Bring us back to the top of the order of Dornack. So the Gophers will play at 11 o'clock, and then they will play the winner of the other 2 teams, Kenyon and Lake City, I believe at 1 o'clock or whenever the first game is over. So nice little tournament they get into every year, get them some extra swings. 2 outs, Horseman at 1, Dornack up to bat. She goes for the steal. Nice throw by the catcher, and even nicer tag. The shortstop dives and makes the tag on the dive as she goes. Horseman's a quick runner, so That was on the money. Great job by the Lancers to retire our third Gopher. Dornoch will be up again next inning. And we will head into the top of the 7th. Gophers had no runs, no hits, no errors. We did have one walk. We did not actually leave a runner on base because she was thrown out. So 3 outs away from the Gophers taking their 2nd victory of the year. Need to hold on here. Let's see who we have up. I believe we're at the top of the Crescent order. The story of the night is really that the Gophers have only allowed 2 hits against the Lancers. 1 against Johnson and 1 against Urban. Gophers, in turn, have had 6 hits on the night. There were quite a few walks between the 2 pitchers, between La Crescent and Chatfield. Johnson had 6, and Marilla had 4, so we did have some base runners, but not a lot of hitting action on the La Crescent side. So La Crescent has 5 strikeouts against the Gophers. And Johnson had 7 strikeouts and Urban 1 going into the 7th inning. So, been an interesting game. So, as I mentioned, it's the top of their order. This is Kinley Groton. She's 0 for 1. She's had a couple walks. And she hits a high fly ball to Kendall Knudsen in center field. She comes in and grabs that one for the Gophers' first out. And that'll bring up their left fielder, Lexi Kesau. I'm not quite sure how to say that. Same last name as the coach, so I'm assuming relation there. She is 0 for 2 with a walk. Urban fires just a little high. You could hear the pop in the glove. She continues to fire hard. A strong pitcher with a good push off. Does a nice job pushing off that mound to give that velocity. There it is. And there will be a hit up the middle for Kitsau. So Lancers will have a base runner. I'm kind of curious. Lancers have been pretty aggressive on the bases. We'll see if I wouldn't think they would try to steal. Lex has got a pretty good arm, and they're in a tight scenario here, but they have been aggressive. So there's a swing and a miss. Lex fires down. I like it. She took a couple extra steps off. Lex didn't like that. She was confident in her throw. Schmaltz did a nice job backing up. Nothing wrong with keeping them a little honest. So there's a swing and a miss. Lydia Knudsen-Kimball. She's 0 for 3 on the night with a couple strikeouts. And there's a called third strike, a backwards K in the book to retire the 2nd Lancer of the inning. And the Gophers are 1 out away. Their runner remains on first. And I like to watch pitchers like this. Jaden Zimmerman was very much like this. Riley Urban's much an adrenaline pitcher. As we get closer to the end, I feel like she's throwing even harder. You can just see she really wants it. And so the first one was a called strike. The second one was a swing and a miss. And she's really firing on all cylinders right now. They have a runner at 1. There's 2 outs. Their runner reached on a hit. Oh, and he did not want, and they do end up stealing to get to second. He did not want to call that last strike, I don't think. That was pretty close. But we'll take a 1-2 count on the batter with a runner at 2. Gophers lead 4-2 in the top of the 7th, looking for this last out. And she fouls that one. Back to the backstop. Count remains 1-2 on the batter. Lydia Knutson-Kimball looking to help her team stay alive. Swing and a miss, and what a great way for Urban to end the game with a final strikeout. So top of the 7th, Lancers have 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 runner left on base. They will shake hands. Give me just a minute. I want to kind of add up the totals. I'll be right back with our final numbers here. All right, with that win, the Gophers go to 2-1 and go into their tournament play tomorrow. The Lancers drop to 2-2. Just kind of a summary of the game. The Lancers ended up with 3 hits. They had 2 errors, and they ended up scoring 2 runs. Chatfield, 4 runs on 6 hits, and they did commit 4 errors. Leading the Gophers, McKenna Dornack was 1 for 2. Lexi Hinckley, 1 for 3. Bryn Horseman, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Braley Horseman, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Britton Ruskell, 2 for 2 with an RBI. And Bryn Horseman, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. So fun to see those kind of spread off amongst the group. Pitching was split. Katrin Johnson threw 3 innings. She allowed 1 run, no earned runs. Because that was on error. She did walk 6, and she struck out 7. Riley Urban pitched 4 complete innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, and had 3 strikeouts. So you like to see it between the 2 pitchers. They had 10 strikeouts. It looks like Katrin threw 76 pitches, Riley 56. For the Lancers, Marilla threw 6 complete innings. She gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So pretty evenly matched teams. Gophers continue maybe something to work on, continue to cut down on the errors. Had a couple plays that we need to make in order to just shore things up. But what they did is they answered with their bats then and ended up with the 6 hits and were able to put together some nice rallies, string some things together. The hitting was spread out really well. We saw a couple sack bunts, which was good, or 1 sack bunt, which was good. We need to be able to do that in the tight games as well. Grace Finley did a nice job laying that one down. And overall, we're seeing energy. We're seeing them build in confidence. We're seeing them build in their knowledge. A lot of these girls are young and new and starting to understand some of the intricacies of that higher level of play. So it's been fun to watch them grow. So Coach Berg and Berg do end up with their 2nd victory for the year. So 2-1 will be the Gophers' record. Again, if you're interested in seeing some more ball, they will play at Lake City starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow. They'll have a guaranteed 2-game tournament, which will be nice. And then it looks like the Gophers go on the road. So our first 3 games have been at home. They played Wabasha, which they dropped that first game, played Pem, and then turned around and played tonight. So then next week on 4/16 on Tuesday, they will head to Fillmore Central. And next Friday, 4/19, they will head to St. Charles. That's always a rivalry, always a great matchup. So if you're not doing anything next Friday, plan on going to St. Charles. We will be home again. The next time we're at home will be April 23rd. That's a big day. We will do Take Your Daughter to the Ballpark night, where all of the Fireballs, kindergarten through 12th grade, we ask you to come. You'll get a free hot dog and water, cheer on the girls, and for those younger girls, we always introduce them and have them run the bases before the game. We'll also be donating or dedicating a bench that our youth program purchased in memory of Mike Bernard, so we hope you can join us for that as well. We enjoyed bringing you the game tonight. Fairly warm. I like it just a little warmer, but we've sat through much worse. So congratulations to the Gophers on the win. Thank you, Ricky Irish, for running the camera, setting everything up. Congratulations to the coaches, and congratulations to JV and 7th and 8th grade that I believe also pulled out wins today too. I'm E.B. Allen. We will see you at home again on April 23rd. Have a great weekend, everyone.